Peter Pan flies through the sky on adventures, fighting pirates and voyaging to the mainland. On one of these journeys, while listening to the stories by a young girl, Wendy, his shadow is stolen by Wendy's dog, Nana.
But what I still don't understand is how Nana got it in the first place.
But how does this happen? This seems like a completely glossed over characteristic of Peter. Hello, I'm Isaac from What's So Videos, where we discuss fun topics for fun people, and today I'm going to explain Peter Pan's shadow. To understand Peter Pan's shadow, we need to understand what the shadow represents. What is the purpose of referencing the shadow in his story? Shadows can be used to refer to a looming ominous or gloomy presence, like a shadow of war or a shadow of what a person once was. If the shadow was a symbol of materializing disaster, why would Peter fight to capture it once again? Is the shadow representing his inevitable death before he went to Neverland, which is an aspect of humans we all share, and that's why he must claim his shadow, like he's searching for his humanity? Or is the shadow a manifestation of a piece of Peter that's longing to be taken care of, and that's why it becomes detached and requires reattachment by a motherly figure? In all cases, the shadow is a representation of Peter, which I think acts like the physical construction of his soul. But to figure out how his soul could disconnect, we need to look to another character. There's only one other with a sentient shadow in Disney canon, Dr. Facilier from Princess and the Frog. Facilier is a wicked man who made numerous deals with his friends on the other side to obtain voodoo magic to allow him to seize New Orleans. Through his many deals, he eventually wagered his soul, which disconnects him from his shadow and manifests a voodoo spirit with a similar personality and the ability to interact with the world around it. The Shadow Man's shadow is just like Peter Pan's. Peter's shadow has a similar personality to Peter as he attempts to always be free, and it interacts with objects like when he is knocking over furniture in the nursery. Although both Dr. Facilier and Peter have their shadows free from them, they are still linked to the real people. When Dr. Facilier is pulled into the world of his voodoo friends, they grab his shadow and they both fear the friends from the other side, while Peter feels compelled to get his shadow and work in unison when they are joined. Since Peter's shadow is bound and derives from him, this means his shadow is not a complete separate entity like the one in Once Upon a Time. So if Peter Pan's shadow behaves like Dr. Facilier's shadow, does that mean Peter's manifested in the same way? Did Peter wager his soul with the Shadow Man's friends from the other side to achieve immortality? No, I don't think that's true. Other than the totem poles that barely resemble the friends in the Indian camp, there's no evidence of the voodoo spirits on Neverland, and it is even less likely Peter would barter his soul because we already know the reason Peter lives forever. In my last Peter Pan theory, I identified what allows Neverland to keep Peter Pan alive forever. After looking at other iterations of Peter Pan and being unable to identify a pixie dust with the properties of immortality, I eventually discovered a mystical plant known as the Forever Tree. In the Jake and the Neverland Pirate special, Jake's Neverland Rescue, the fairies explain to Jake the Forever Tree is the source of all the embedded magic and has begun to fade, showing us the tree may grant the ability to never age, but in fact ages itself. Without the Forever Tree, disaster will come to Neverland. The entire island will not only lose its magic, but it will also fade into oblivion. In the special, Jake revives the Forever Tree, but he was not the first person to do this. Peter Pan was the first boy to create a Forever Tree. Not only does the Forever Tree's existence shows Peter would never wager his soul like Dr. Facilier, but the tree's ritual is what I think created Peter's shadow. The Forever Tree doesn't just sustain the island after it is revived, but it also gives power to the individual who leads the quest to save the tree. The tree grants the ability to fly without the need for pixie dust, and grants the golden sword of destiny. Peter, in his disguise as the Guardian, even states,
"I'm proud of you, Jake. Neverland is proud of you."
Why would the Forever Tree be so grateful? We see Jake revive the tree through the power of belief, but maybe it's a deeper gift than just belief. Maybe Jake and Peter were able to revive the Forever Tree because they gave a piece of themselves to sustain the island, and for this reason, they were bestowed with the tree's gifts of power. This is an idea very similar to the one in Once Upon a Time. In that show, Pan could only live forever if he possessed the heart of the truest believer. I think Neverland can only survive when it possesses a piece of the soul of the truest and bravest believers. Dr. Facilier gave up his soul to use voodoo magic, while Peter Pan gave up some of his soul to create a new forever tree. Through this act, Peter slightly separated his soul from his body, creating a physical embodiment of his soul, his shadow. So now it's time for your thoughts. Do you believe Peter's donation of his soul separated him from his shadow like Dr. Facilier? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, along with any other ideas you have for future Discovering Disney episodes. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more like it, then remember to subscribe to Watso Videos and click the bell if you'd like to be notified when I post. Thanks for watching, and have a magical day.